You ready for some good news? Gratitude moves us far more than the law ever could. We're in John chapter 12, this beautiful story. Let's read verse 3. Mary therefore took a pound of expensive ointment made from pure nard and anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped his feet with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of the disciples, he was about to betray him, said, "Why was this ointment not sold for 300 denarii and given to the poor?" He said this not because he cared about the poor. A year's wages. That bottle of perfume was worth, let's call it $30,000 in today's standards. Imagine what you could do with that kind of money. How would you have felt watching $30,000 be poured into the dirt? How would you have felt watching the dust become mud? $30,000, nearly $2,000 per ounce. Put yourself there and behold it with your own eyes. Drip, drip, drip. There goes the first ounce. Could have sponsored 8 children in a third world country for a year. Would have meant food, education, exposure to Christ. Drip, drip, drip. There goes the second ounce. And on it goes. See, the episode makes a little more sense, though, when you remember the miracle Jesus had performed not long before. Lazarus had fallen sick. Jesus delayed, and then Lazarus died. Seeing the deep anguish that Mary felt over the loss of her brother, Jesus too was deeply moved and wept. And then with never-before-seen power, the majestic Messiah shouted Lazarus out of his tomb. Lazarus' final resting place was not final. Jesus' word was final. And that's why Mary poured $30,000 on the Savior's feet. See, the last time she'd seen Jesus, her brother had been lying in the grave. But this time, Lazarus was reclining at the table. Was Lazarus' life worth $30,000? Well, of course. Even Judas would have had to admit that his life was worth $30,000 if Jesus were to bring him back to life. But here's the problem. Jesus had already brought the dead man back. Lazarus was already alive again. The miracle had already been accomplished. No payment was required. That's what was scandalous. Even if Mary had not given the perfume, Lazarus would have remained alive and well. That's what bothered Judas. So don't miss this. It's so simple, but it's the most important thing you can know about God. Jesus gave Lazarus his life back because he loved him, not because someone paid him. That's what's so scandalous about grace. It follows, gratitude does, follows rather than precedes God's blessing. Mary was not moved by a mandate, she was overwhelmed by gratitude. That's the source of joy and worship in the Christian life. And that's the gospel. That's today's daily devotional, and you can click right here to get more like it, and better yet, subscribe to this channel and get them all. Sure hope you have a wonderful, grateful weekend.